Oh, yes. Yes, let's do it. Let's throw down. I beat you 3 rounds, Dolidze. I beat you 5. What form of keeps you using, by the way, Roman? How does your hair grow back like that? And are those even real abs you got there? You beat trash opponents, but now you face a guy who's slightly less trash than them. What are you going to do now? Oh, wait, hold on. Where are we? Is this a media day interview? Who is you? Who are you, Benoit? Hey, who are you? I mean, you're an interviewer, right? Ask a question. ask a question. Say something.
I didn't know we were doing all this. You know what, Marvin? It seems like you've been gone a while. What's up with the layoff?
How is that even a question? That's not even a question. Oh, amateurs. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. I want to fight right now. Come on, let's go. Oh, yeah. I'm out me. That's right. I don't need a suit. Come on, where are you?
Is he getting undressed?
How about it? Come on. Yes. Splitty City Slickers, welcome once again to Split Decision Combat Sports, where we agree a time or two. We can see points, occasionally, but mostly we disagree beyond the realm of human comprehension. And this time, we are going to decide once again whether or not any of these Contender Series fighters on this Apex card are going to be any good or not. That's usually what ends up deciding these things at the end of the day. But also, I honestly think this is a sleeper hit card. I think there are going to be some fights that are solid. We're going to have some nice finishes. It's just your usual card. And also, I will say, despite not having a star-studded roster, I think all the fights on the main card are deserved spots, because of what we're going to see at the end of the day, like Alizu Zaleski Dos Santos versus oh god, I forget, but that's good. I like Alizu Zaleski Dos Santos. I think that's going to be a really fun fight.
Guy always brings it. I haven't even looked at the card, bro. Like, I just know the main event, and that's it. So I'm excited to look through the card.
And he's going to get 90% prediction rate, everybody, just based on that one look. Yeah, Chitty Bang Bang versus Alizu Zaleski Dos Santos. Kevin Vallejos.
So I don't
really fun.
So I don't play into like, is this going to be a good card? Is it going to be a bad card? Because like, I feel like at that point it's like inconsequential, like until we actually see the fights. At this point,
that's
like,
true.
I used to care a lot more about like name value and all that stuff, and now I'm just like, dude, there's going to be fights. What is it? 48 events a year. We'll see what happens.
For sure.
Like last week's card was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a really solid card all around. So
yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I watched it back on replay.
Quickly, I'd like to get your thoughts on, like, because this is something I've been seeing in the MMA Twitter spaces recently. Like, what are your thoughts on like the UFC having no stars nowadays? Would you agree with that, or
I don't
know. Obviously Alex Pereira was the UFC's like marquee star at his current point in time, and he just lost in a super boring fight. So now people are all freaking out. The UFC has no stars, man. Pereira just lost, man. It's all over. Everyone's freaking out. So I don't know.
I'd say that Vettori is a star. I think Islam Makhachev is a star in the Middle East. I think I see so much potential in DDP, but like, is he ever going to be a star? That is the main question, because he has all the tools for it. I just don't know whether fans are going to accept him or not. And then John Jones, we're never going to see him fight again, but he's a star while he's around, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'd say the problem is the UFC has had too many times where they've known the guy who's going to win the belt. They're going to push him back to make sure to stifle his momentum and let everybody know, oh, hey, this isn't the guy we want. And then that guy ends up getting a title shot anyway, and then wins the belt. So we got that with Merab. We got that with Bilal, obviously. Got that with Magomed Ankalaev, who they literally gave Pereira like Roundtree to try to stall for time.
So true.
And yeah, it's just too. I honestly think if they'd have treated some of these, boring champions like real contenders earlier, rather than like being scared of them, I think there might be a better chance for them that some of those guys would actually become stars. But I think they've just been pushed into obscurity too many times that once they win the belt, it just no one cares.
I think that's a really fantastic observation. I think you hit the nail on the head right there, man. Yeah, good stuff there. Also, just want to get your thoughts on like how weird is it that the lightweight division is so messed up now that you've had these same guys in the top 10 for like 5 years, and this new crop of lightweights, the Fizieves, the Gamrots,
they keep on failing.
Even Kudrsaladze, right, at one point was like, this is the guy right here.
They never end up being the guy.
Yeah, like this new crop of lightweights is not able to beat the old guard. You think that's a testament? I personally think it's just a testament to like just how amazing those guys, the Gaethjes, the Poiriers, the Hookers, like these guys are the shit, and we probably will never see
for sure
another group of lightweights like this ever again.
I think the problem could be that a lot of these guys are being given 5-rounders. They're like, you're given main event marquee spot to go 25 whole minutes in this fight with a tough ass opponent who can knock you out at any moment. You give these guys like too many of those, they're like, oh, I'm used to this. No, I could do this. And also, I do want to mention that Gaethje did beat Fiziev before. So it's not the biggest surprise that he was able to do it again. But at the same time, it's a combination of they're given a lot of, big name opponents over, in given main event slots that I think the pressure is just sort of off them compared to a lot of the other lightweight prospects, like your Benoit Saint-Denis, even your Renato Moicanos, he crumbled under pressure. I mean, I will say like the one exception so far has been Paddy Pimblett. Like somehow.
Like the most unlikely guy.
Yeah, and he's
got his toughest test, in my opinion. I have a lot of respect for Michael Chandler. I know people don't.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. I think he's got his toughest, highest name value test in Michael Chandler to an extent. And I think Big Onk. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Charlie Bronson. Shout out to Nick. Going to UFC Kansas City. Maybe I'll see you there, my friend. But I'll definitely see you for one championship in Denver in August. Andrew B. Artem MMA. I think Big Ank is Anakin, but he says Ignacio Bahamundes is coming.
Oh no, no doubt about it. That's obviously
we'll
Anakin.
We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like
you know what he should have done? He should have called himself Big Anakin.
It's Frankie, dude. Frankie came in a couple weeks ago, and he's a soldier now, dude. Thank you for joining us.
If this was another era of the podcast, we'd be calling you something else. But you are a Splitty City Slicker now. He served his time in the army, though.
But yeah, I think Patty's got his toughest test coming, and we'll see. So anyway, with that being said, man, we got lots of fights this weekend, and we're gonna break it down for you guys.
One of the things we're split on as well is which cards we're gonna be focusing on the MMA weekend outside the UFC.
Yeah, so there's going to be one championship every Friday. By the way, that one championship morning Muay Thai card last week was not very good. It was full of decisions. So a rare miss for one championship.
Rare miss.
But that doesn't mean that it's still the most consistent combat sports programming that there is. So if you have time in the morning, feel like waking up really early, check that out every Friday morning, just about. There's going to be a Road FC on the wee hours of Sunday morning, Saturday night-ish. I'm going to do a fight companion for that. I'm like 90% sure. And then, obviously, we got the UFC, but Cage Warriors is actually doing 2 cards
It's
this
true.
Friday and Saturday.
It's damn true.
Have they ever done that before?
They have done that before, actually. I have picked 2 cards from Cage Warriors in one day. So I think sometimes it's like, and it's weird because you expect like the second card or the first card to be less stacked, but they're smart enough that they have recognizable names on each one of those cards. So maybe they just have it in.
So Hardwick is on one of the cards.
Yes, and then Riley, I believe, is on the other one as well. So they have. I just think they have a good influx of talent that they can do that stuff. And at the same time, like there have been weeks where Cage Warriors isn't doing anything, so it's not like, oh, we need to do this every week, but it's so hard. Like they can do 2 cards in one weekend. So I think Cage Warriors is like UFC's sort of partner, is getting a lot of fighters in there, in influx compared to other promotions.
Nick says, I said the same thing about lightweight 10 to 15 years ago. There will always be stars. I agree with that. I think people are just overreacting to Alex Pereira's loss, personally.
For sure.
And what's up, Ty? Good to see you.
Hey,
Frankie,
Ty.
before we break down the 2, before Hank gives us his locks and underdogs for the Cage Warriors cards, Frankie asked, do you think John Jones will fight Tom this summer? I think he'll put it off longer.
I don't know. I actually saw a great video where it mentioned, dude, Pereira's gone as the star. UFC's out of options for, big names. So they might as well try to get Tom Aspinall over. And if he knocks out John Jones, you got an instant star. So that was like the backup. And I think, and now they're like, oh yeah, John Jones said yes. It's now just a date. That's what Tom said. And immediately, like a couple days after, he was like, John Jones won't sign the contract. And something tells me the UFC probably told him, dude, wait until the Pereira Ankalaev result.
Yeah, I really hope that he fights him. I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna hang my hat on it.
Yeah, me neither.
So but yeah, let's get into these Cage Warriors cards, man.
Yeah. So you mentioned Hardwick, and I think I'm gonna go with him as my lock for this one. I think it's pretty obvious. He's solid. He lost to Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi, but he didn't get completely dominated in that one. It was mostly just a battle of the grappling, and Al-Sawadi won. Lucas Clay, meanwhile, he's getting submissions, he's getting knockouts, but he's not a hugger. He's a fighter, not a hugger. And he's lost to sort of mid names, 13-8, lost to Bobby Lee. Like, if he loses to Bobby
Lee, the comedian?
Yeah, that guy. He decided his routine would be better if he got some brain damage to boot, since that's what most comedians sound like these days. But yeah, he lost to Bobby Lee by decision, and if he can do that, I feel like George Hardwick is gonna kick his ass and dominate. Some people are saying that he wins by finish. It's been a year and 10 months since he's found a finish, and then the rest is like scraping by. I honestly think Hardwick sort of lost the technical magic he had before. Where he was getting liver shot KOs and uppercuts and great combinations, But his pressure game is still good. He still finds ways to stay out of trouble. He's never been knocked out, so I don't see him losing by finish to Lucas Clay. And if Lucas Clay can't find the finish, Hardwick's going to win a decision. So I got him winning over 5 rounds. And then we have Mr. Mitchell Good versus Farshad Nazarnya. And I'm going with Nazarnya business by round 1 knockout, because Mitchell Good, I believe I picked against him the last time he fought. He fought Angus Hewitt. Hewitt was an underdog. I picked him, and Hewitt beat the brakes off of Mitchell Good, made him look real Mitchell bad. And then on the ground, Good just sunk in a buggy choke, just out of nowhere. Oh. Because these things happen in regional MMA. Random ass chokes finish fight.
Buggy choke, dude. Yeah. One of my favorite submissions to see happen.
Well, you're a fan of Mitchell Good then, but unfortunately I can't pick against him, because Nazarnya, he's got one punch knockout power. This is a bad loss, to be honest, but Mitchell Good is also just 1-0, so he's a complete amateur as well. If anything, Farshad has had one more fight at the professional level than he has. And when he's not losing a split decision, he's knocking motherfuckers out. So I feel I'm gonna pick Nazarnya again. to dominate and not lose via buggy choke. That's the only difference here. And that's the first Cage Warriors card. And then we have the second, and unfortunately, there really aren't a lot of opportunities for underdogs on the card. Like the underdog I picked for this card turned into a favorite, like after a couple days. So I don't know. It's sort of tough to pick an underdog, but I do have a lock for this, and it's a very familiar name. He goes by Teddy Stringer. I'm going with Teddy Stringer by, I think it's round one submission. Just because he's been on a roll, he's been on a hot streak. Just look at that mustache and that comb back hair. Dude's a star in the making. He hasn't beaten the best competition. 4-2, that's a winning record. That's not bad. 3-1, beat him up, so he's undefeated. And meanwhile, this guy Antonio Sheldon, loss, draw, loss to Orlando Wilson Prince, who I picked as an underdog on the last Cage Warriors card, and he did not get it done. He got dominated and then finished. So losing to Wilson Prince at this point is a pretty bad look. And then he's beaten guys with pretty much even records. Now he's dealing with an undefeated prospect who's getting fuckers out of there, in the first round via sub. I just think that Teddy Stringer is going to, he's going to comb his hair back. He's going to make his mustache look good, and then he's just going to take him down and sub him. So,
old greaser throwback.
He's gonna get exposed at some point because he just hasn't faced the best competition. I feel like he's gonna get.
That kind of looks like Big Red a little bit.
Big Red, yeah. It's Dylan if he went to the barber, but and in the 1920s. But yeah, I think he's solid, and I don't think the hype train stops.
Here we are in the 1920s.
The Patty Express is running wild.
Cool. That's it for the regional scene, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. It's bone dry. Aside from the Great Road FC,
yeah. There's really not that much happening this weekend as far as promotions go. But you know what that means? They'll be back next week with just a whole mess of stuff.
Yeah, they'll have like eight regional cards for me to do.
All right, man. Well, let's get into the UFC card. Starting off the card, it is a women's MMA battle. Gonna be a banger for sure. It is Eunice Dubin versus Carly Judice. Eunice, who is this lady? Okay, oh my gosh. Wait a second. Is this that chick that was going up against that girl that had like all the accolades to be a good prospect, and then she just slept her? Yep. Oh my gosh. Okay. I remember that. Okay, she is 6-0. She is a plus 380 underdog. She's 28. On the other side, you have Carly Judice, who is not found a win yet in the UFC. She lost a split decision to Gabriela Fernandez. She is 3-2 in her last 5, minus 500 as the favorite. Jeez. And she is from, it just says Lafayette. I'm assuming that's Louisiana.
Yeah.
And she is 26.
It's like Springfield, USA.
Is this really okay? Am I getting that right? I'm not mixing her up with somebody else.
No, she's the one who got the big overhand. The odds are all over the place for this card.
So
all over the place.
Now, Carly Judice, I do not remember her at all. Interesting. Okay, she lost split decision to Anesta Karakady, who is like a kickboxer. And then she lost to Gabriela Fernandez, who I don't know who that is either.
Lafayette, New Jersey. What?
Oh, okay. Didn't know that was a place. Hey, good to see you, Kiwi.
Thanks for the 10 Australian dollars on the last stream, by the way. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. No, Kiwi is a solid guy. Good guy to have on your side. And I think I'm still going to go to Australia sometime around August, Kiwi. So hit me up, man. Hit me up. Let's get in contact. Anyway, Eunice Dubin is not a good fighter. She's not a good fighter. She's very bad, very sloppy. I think she got an overzealous Shannon Clark that just kind of blew her wad, and it was like overlooking Dubin big time. So I do not have high hopes for her at all. She had to get signed off of just how amazing that knockout was. And that's really all she has going for her. Now, that doesn't mean that the girl doesn't have power. I think she's got some power in her fists. But, dude, what is up with Carly Judice? You got any lowdown for me on her?
She's basically, she always wants fight of the night. She just doesn't want to win. So, like, she has a great brawl. It's hard to put her down, but you usually get the better of the exchanges.
Okay, damn. Oh, man. I think this is a toss-up here. And in that regard, you should probably, if you're going to bet, might as well slap Dubin in a degenerate parlay, just because the odds are just so big. I mean, plus 380 is the underdog. But for Tapology purposes, we're gonna go Carly Judice by decision here. I do not have any faith in Dubin, unfortunately. Now, how old is she? Quickly, she's 28.
28. It's actually older.
Right. So I don't have high hopes for her, but I'm just hoping for a good fight. And I think just from what Hank explained to me, I think that these ladies will bring a decent scrap to open up the card. So this is in the Apex, right?
Yeah, it is. So, man, those 9 people in attendance are going to be going crazy.
100%. It's not letting me switch to your screen.
Ooh. Here. Before remove other media.
Super weird. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. I am going with Dubin. I'm actually picking Dubin. The reason for it is I just feel like Carly Judice, she's always fun to watch, but she never like gets the job done. You know, like, oh, she made it a scrap. Oh, she made it close. Oh, but she still lost that exchange. Oh, she still got dropped. Oh, she still got hit by that 1-2-3 piece combo. I remember in her last fight, I actually picked Carly Judice. I picked her to win against Gabriela Fernandez. Now that is a little impressive that she almost beat her, since Fernandez was the one who knocked out Kong Wang with that head kick and got the submission. But at the same time, I feel like she's a kind of fighter that wants to brawl, but she never wins the brawl. She gets outlanded. And I feel like, you know, she can have her back and forth war with all the technical strikers. But what happens when you let Dubin hit you with a 3-piece combo? You know, you're going to get dropped. I feel like Dubin has different power from Fernandez and Karakaidi. Like they're good at like kickboxing and playing at range and like finding their timing. Dubin just like throws, and if she hits you, you're in trouble. Now, since it's a women's fight, I'm not going to pick her by KO. I don't think she's going to knock her out, since Judice is pretty tough. But I feel like there's just going to be rounds where, man, Judice is doing really well. Oh, there's that overhand right from Dubin that put her down. Oh, there's an uppercut. Oh, God, she's stumbling. Like, oh, she's bloody all over. You know, I just feel like she's good at staying in it. She's just not good at pulling ahead. And for that reason, I think.
You have an interesting point there. And I just looked at her record. Would you believe me if I said Dubin, all of her wins are by knockout?
I would, because I checked it too. And she's gotten her wins by knockout.
From what I'm seeing, though, it was against all debuting fighters. And check this. Before her Contender Series fight with Shannon Clark, she had fought 4 months previous. But before that, all her other fights were over 5 years ago.
Yeah. Which makes it all the more insane that she just knocked out Shannon Clark.
This lady, I guess this lady finds the KO.
Like I had the exact same, you know, feelings that you did about Dubin going into her Contender Series fight. And then she just dominated. It wasn't just oh man, she's not doing so well. Oh, she finds the knockout and saves herself. It was, wow, she is stuffing that takedown. Wow, she is hitting her with that knee up the middle and just like hitting her over and over. Like every time, it's her face is like a fucking magnet. That's what I was saying before she got that overhand right. So I think there's actually quite a lot of potential from Dubin. And I just think she has the power and she has the Muay Thai ability to get this done, because I just feel like Judice, she's 3-2. Like literally, Dubin has had more professional fights than her, which is crazy. That's what I think evens this thing out a little bit. And the fact that she lost before she got signed to the UFC, she got into the UFC off a loss. Like, yes. I don't know. I just can't trust that. I can't trust it. I feel like she's conventional. She gets hit too much. And against a power puncher, I think that's not good at all.
All right. Well, our next fight will be Josiane Nunes versus Priscilla Cachoeira at bantamweight. Josiane Nunes 10-3. She is 3-2 in her last five. On a 2-fight losing streak. She is minus 205 as a favorite.
Yikes.
She's 31. Priscilla Cachoeira on a 2-fight losing streak as well. She is 12-6. 2-3 in her last 5, and she is 36 plus 170 as the underdog. So this is a very strange, hard one to pick. I would say that
Weird booking.
I would say Josiane Nunes, even though she is on a 2-fight losing streak, those being to Cavalcante by split
And the track
Chelsea
athlete
Chandler by UD, and also like her resume is pretty abysmal.
mid.
I would say she's still the more consistent of the two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're gonna get from Josiane Nunes. Some wild punches. And
you also know what you're going to get from Priscilla Cachoeira.
I would say she's way more inconsistent, though, even though you do know. Like, Priscilla is fun to watch. She might try to gouge her opponent's eyes out
Dirty
a time
cheat.
or two.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, so this is a tough one to pick. By the way, what's up, Tress? Good to see you in the chat there.
Trace.
So I think this is another toss-up here. You got minus 205 for Nunes and plus 170 as for Priscilla, who is 5 years older. And also, Josiane Nunes is considerably smaller at 5'2", Priscilla at 5'7".
Right.
Also, this is at bantamweight. I don't think Maverick is a flyweight. Okay, so this is her second fight in a row at bantamweight in Priscilla. So that might play into it somewhat. Oh my gosh. I gotta go Nunes by decision here because I don't have any faith in Priscilla anymore. I did pick her to win in some of the fights she lost, and it's same with Nunes, but I just have much less confidence in Priscilla Cachoeira at this point in her career. Though I do think if Priscilla does win, it'll be the more entertaining of the two outcomes.
Yeah, and I'm going with Nunes by decision too. I just feel like Priscilla, she gets submitted. That's how she loses, but I don't feel like that's how Nunes is going to win. But I believe I remember her shooting some takedowns on Cavalcante. I think she at least feinted some. And then, went 1-2 and hit her with some good shots, and that's why it was a split. But I just think that Nunes has a little bit of grappling in her arsenal, and that's going to help her out. Because Cachoeira is terrible on the ground. She's basically a victim on the ground. Nunes doesn't get submission chokes, but I feel like she's going to hold her down long enough to win the rounds. And then when it's on the feet, I feel like Nunes, that's where things are going to get a bit closer, but... Oh, man. Ariana Lipski de Silva, she knocked out. That's actually impressive.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done it anywhere else. So maybe that's just...
Also, Lipski or de Silva, very inconsistent as well.
Yeah.
I think that Nunes will probably have the more volume of the two, but I think Priscilla is punches a little harder and finds a chin more often than not.
Right. But that knockout was an exception to the rule. If she can't find the chin, she's in trouble. And I feel like Nunes is just not, I wouldn't say more technical, but she's a more complete fighter.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I think that's why she's going to win.
Also, trash about my girl Ariana.
even though she's the zombie girl, she's not coming back from this one. She might get cut.
There you go. I thought she should have been cut after she tried to gouge Jillian Robertson's eyes out. I can't believe she's even still in the UFC after that. That's insane.
Well, I guess
Paul Juarez was out of there after just holding on to some leg locks too long. Innocent man, free Husamar Paul Juarez.
Yeah, he didn't feel with the referees tapping
Husamar Paul Juarez did nothing wrong. All right, next fight. Andre Lima versus Daniel Bairez at flyweight. Andre Lima, the guy who got bit by that dude Igor Severino.
Brain.
He is 10-0. He is minus 310 as a favorite. He's 26, 5'7". Daniel Perez is 17-6. He is 4-1 in his last 5, plus 245 as the dog, and he's 36. So I picked Daniel Perez to lose to Victor Altamirano.
Yeah,
and he kicked Victor Altamirano's ass in that fight, dude. And I was like, damn, dude, all right, this guy 36 at flyweight, he can't do nothing. He's gonna wash out of the UFC. Nope. He did his damn thing against Victor Altamirano.
Yeah.
Came into the UFC to fight Jafel Filio, I think, on short notice and got arm triangled. Or maybe you know more about that than I do.
That's how he lost.
I'm just saying, was it on short notice?
I think so.
He just got the call up? Okay. Because he was fighting in UWC, the illustrious fighting organization. But
in Fight on Contender Series.
Andre Lima, on the other hand, is a guy that I think is decent, but I think, Hank, you are not a fan of this guy, right?
I am not. I'm not a fan of just his fights in general. Like, he's either winning a weird way or taking somebody down when he's a striker or kicking a guy at range when he's called up on short notice. Like, hard to know what to expect with Andre Lima, to be honest. But I'm not a fan of him, but he is talented.
Yes. So I know that Baez is surprisingly scrappy. Dude, this guy is like actually pretty damn good for a 36-year-old flyweight.
He's powerful.
And I don't think Andre Lima is like championship material type prospect.
Right.
This guy's he's gonna steamroll over Baez here. But I am gonna pick him by decision, and really for a lot of the same reasons I picked Victor Altamirano to beat Daniel Baez. So this might come back to bite me in the ass. I just also I think that for some reason or another, like the judges like what Andre Lima does as well.
I don't get it.
I don't think that Daniel Baez is like, again, the worst person to like slap in a degenerate parlay. So that's my analysis there.
Yeah.
And good to see Isha in the chat.
What is up,
CLP,
City Live?
the homie. Good to see you. City Live. You're a smart guy. You're a smart guy.
You're
a smart full others here too. He says nothing happened yesterday. Yes, that's our story, and we're sticking with it.
Yep. And it's also my story, and I'm sticking with it. That I love Andre Lima. I love him so much that I'm gonna pick him by decision. That's how much I love him. Daniel Perez. It feels bad that I'm picking against him because he did have honestly a great performance, at least in the first half of the fight against Victor Altamirano. But then things got a little close, and I was like, "Oh God, Victor Altamirano could have won that." You know, oh God, Perez is in trouble towards the end. Like, I don't know. I feel like if he's getting taken down and he's starting to look a little slower towards like the second half of the fight, I feel like that's where Andre Lima is going to shine. He was able to pull out the win against Felipe dos Santos, which was super impressive, by the way. I picked against him. I picked Felipe dos Santos. And Andre Lima just took him down over and over and over again. Like, the kickboxer became the wrestler. Oh, you're a wrestler now. You're a wrestler now. And then, he had his weird wins. Weird wins. But with this fight...
it doesn't get any weirder than getting bit and getting a win off of getting bit.
Yeah, and spreading the zombie...
doing it.
Yeah, he's going to spread that zombie virus, dude. World War Z is going to have a sequel. But, he beat Felipe dos Santos. That was a great win. And I think that's what's convinced me to pick him here. Because that told me that Andre Lima isn't just a, toe-tapping kickboxer. He can actually get wrestling in there and do damage on top. Like, there's more tools in his arsenal. And I feel like Perez is going to be swinging at him. He hit him with a big shot. And then Andre Lima is just going to, got the takedown. Down you go. And I'm going to hate it. I'm going to hate every second of it. But that is what's going to get Andre Lima the win. And then, we got a new zombie, man. It's the Brazilian zombie, not the Korean zombie. He's making a run at flyweight. Trust.
All right. Shiloh, good to see you in here, my friend. Good to see you. we know that Shiloh is a big fan of Hank the Tank. He went to bat for you last night. So.
That's true. Thank you, Shiloh, for that.
Yeah. Good man, Shiloh. Loyal. Nick says Hank is riding Skate's coattails tonight. Well, I got news for you. Nick. This next fight here, Mousasi versus Carlos Vera. I don't know anything about either of these guys, so I am gonna ride Hank the Tank's coattails on this one, and I'm gonna let him break this fight down because I couldn't tell you a damn thing about either man. He also says that World War Z 2 trailer is out.
I called it. Hank
also, who's the Polish zombie?
Who is the Polish zombie? Is that Jan Blachowicz?
Bro, let me tell you something, Nick. We'll be at like a show together, and he'll be like, "Dude, that's just like that guy in 2009 that knocked out this guy on the UFC card in Kentucky." And I'm like, "Dude, what?" He's got this he just pulls this knowledge of the UFC out of his brain somehow. So yeah,
crazy.
Anyway, tell me what's happening here, my friend.
I think that Carlos Vera isn't great. He's one of those short notice replacements. And Rinya Nakamura had a horrible fight with Rinya Nakamura. It was the first sign of Hank the Tank becoming a Rinya Nakamura hater when Nakamura got Vera down and then proceeded to just do nothing with it. Like, I'm going to spin to the back. I'm going to spin to the front. Oh, now I got you in a headlock. Now you're in trouble. And I was just like, this is the great wrestler and submission artist and grappler from Japan we're all supposed to be scared of with one punch knockout power. Like, I didn't see it. And then I proved to be right with the next couple fights where, oh God, he won that decision. He wrestled. And then, he tried to be a stand-up artist with this guy and then got knocked out.
Who was that against?
Oh God, who was it? I forget. I'm going to have to look that up.
Marcin Worosek, the Polish zombie, had to look up how to spell his last name. No, nobody knows who that is, Nick, but
Rinya.
I mean, maybe you guys do. I don't know who
that is. I put in Rinya Nakamura and it turned into Tony Make. So.
Oh yeah, Tony Make. He's the guy that fought 2012 on the Conor McGregor under.
Yes, the American Zombie, the El Kukui. He lost to Muin Gafarov, who beat the brakes off of him.
Oh, that's right.
Dropped him several times.
Right.
Oh, God. So, yeah, you fraud checked him. So, honestly, this is not a great win. I mean, this is not a great loss to have. And meanwhile, Josias Mousasi, he's No Chill's favorite fighter from the Congo, and he's getting knockout after knockout after knockout.
His nickname is the KO Wizard.
Yes. And then, of course, he wins a split decision on his.
He's minus 625 as the favorite. 11 years younger than Carlos Vera at bantamweight.
Awful. Fuck these odds. The odds makers were smoking crack when they did this one. And he won a split decision against Otari Tanzalovi. I honestly thought Otari won. I did think he did a better job with the grappling.
I remember this fight being really bad.
Yeah, but the thing is, Carlos Vera isn't. I don't think he's a wrestler. Like his two submissions are by Gilly, which should tell you a little bit. I feel like he's going to keep it on the feet with Josias Mousasi, and I just think Mousasi has slicker combinations. He has power, as we've seen on the regional scene, and Carlos Vera is getting up there in age, 37 years old. I feel like Mousasi has the opportunity to get a late fight finish. I feel like it's going to be like a TKO against the fence because I think Vera's going to allow too much offense on himself.
Well, you know what that means for me. I'm going to pick him by decision.
No,
kind of move on there. I am a dollar.
Wow.
Hating on Hank in the chat. Hey, thanks for watching, buddy. Appreciate your viewership, my friend.
Yeah, thank you for the input.
Yes, appreciate it.
Hey, strike three. Three strike.
Stick around. Buddy. Stick around, buddy. Anyway, our next fight is DR Nergoze versus Brenson Ribeiro. Nergoze, another Contender Series guy. But this guy actually got a finish on the Contender Series. Wow. Fought in UAE Warriors, Eagle FC, so we know what he's all about. He beat a guy named Magomed Magomedov. How many of those are in existence? Anyway, he is 10-0, minus 280 as the favorite from Kazakhstan. He's 27, 6'2". Brenson Ribeiro on the other side, 16-7, 3-2 in his last 5. Plus 220 as the underdog, 28, and he is 6'3". So I don't remember Nergoze, or maybe I don't know. It's very vivid in my mind. Getting a sick knockout on Contender Series.
You might remember him being the guy who blinks over and over again, and then just got a wicked head kick out of nowhere.
I very like barely remember the guy. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Brenson Ribeiro though, had that just awful, god awful fight with Caio Machado, where we were like, dude, here's 2 big dudes gonna swing him. This will be a sick fight. Who will drop first? And then Brenson Ribeiro backed up the entire fight, and Caio Machado walked him down the whole time, and then somehow he won a decision. Before that, and that was on a big card too, if I remember correctly. Anyway, he also lost to Magomed Gadzasulov, Ming Yang Zhang. Dude, this guy is getting the craziest names he's going up against. Yeah. But he got that sick knockout up against Bruno Lopez,
who came back and is now in the UFC.
But I think that regardless, I think this guy Nergoze is he's got the killer in him. You know what I'm saying? He's got all the right ingredients to do well in the UFC. Eagle FC in the rub from Khabib. Which, by the way, whatever happened to Eagle FC? That was just like a money laundering front. They were like using Khabib as.
Yeah, Kevin Lee killed it, and Khabib wouldn't pay taxes.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And then UAE Warriors get a knockout there, big spot, Middle East, and then coming to Contender Series, doing the damn thing. I think he's I don't even know how to. He's got like better fight vision. Brenson Ribeiro, when he gets a sick knockout or he does well, it's kind of just like a spur of the moment, like, oh shit, there it is. He landed the big one. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that he will be backing up most of the time in this entire fight, and I think Nergoze is gonna pressure him and find the chin of Ribeiro. I'm gonna pick him to get a first round knockout. Although I think if Brenson Ribeiro, I think if you're gonna go and really have a fight with the guy, because Caio Machado didn't really have a fight with him, and they just kind of had a technical kickboxing match, and somehow Brenson Ribeiro was declared the winner after 15 minutes, which I did not agree with. But it was really boring. So I think this will be actually a good fight. At least I really hope so, because that's what I said about the Caio Machado.
As long as it lasts.
Yeah, I think it'll be a first round knockout though for Nergoze.
And I think so too. I think Nergoze is going to find that chin in the first round. I was really impressed by his Contender Series performance. He was very focused, so much he had to blink multiple times. And then he found the head kick on his opponent. Really good timing with that. Just gets knockout. I mean, he won some decisions, but these days, I don't know, man. He's smuggling some potatoes into the hotel outside the Apex. So for that reason, he's getting a bunch of knockouts all of a sudden. And Brenson Ribeiro barely won against Caio Machado, who I don't rate whatsoever.
It was a rotten fight.
Yeah. Just awful. Lose to Magomed Gadzasulov. I believe we both did you pick Brenson Ribeiro against Gadzasulov?
Probably.
Yeah. But that was a close fight, but this is what tells me that Nergoze is going to find the knockout. Lose to Ming Yang Zhang by first round knockout. Eye poke. Oh, what's going on? The referee starts the action again. Bam. Just immediately out. And I feel like Nergoze is the kind of guy who has that awkward timing where it's going to be like, okay, nothing's happening. Oh, God. Oh, he just hit him with something. And he's out. You know, he's going to look bad until he doesn't. I won't say he even looks bad. He just sort of like Drickus, where it's like, God, he's really not doing much. Okay, he landed with that, but God, he's sort of lucky he landed with that.
Or what he's doing, it doesn't look effective, or like it's not getting him anywhere. And then all of a sudden, just
bam, there's the head kick. Like, I don't know, like, because he looks good. He does look good in his fights. There are just stretches where it's like, what is he doing right now? And there were honestly a bunch of those on the contender series where it's like Navajo Sterling, he looks really awkward and then bam, he finds the knockout.
Navajo Sterling was never my friend.
Yeah, he was never my friend either. That guy tried to eat my little brother Georgie in the storm drain when he was collecting his paper boat. It was bad, man. And so yeah, I just think he's Pennywise. He can do the eye thing, He's a new Alexander Skarsgård, that guy. But and I hate him. But anyway, Yar. I just think he's gonna find the knockout. I think the gorilla is gonna get captured and brought to New York. So I think Yar's taking him out.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Brenton Hibero is so annoying because he's like this giant man who looks very menacing, and then like he'll just go in there and do nothing. You're like, okay, all right, what are we doing here?
Justice for Harambe.
All right, we got Sam Hughes versus Stephanie Luciano. Hey, Luciano, what are you doing? It's strawweight. By the way, thank you for not doing the impression right after I did this time. Appreciate that.
Yeah, good job. My head, I was honestly in limbo. I wasn't even thinking about anything. So I let you sneak that one by me.
All right, thank you. Sam Hughes 9-6. She is win-loss. She is 3-2 in her last 5. Plus 210 is the underdog. 32 years old. From Everett, Washington. Shout out to Everett, Washington, and all the crackheads from there. Hope you're listening.
Explains a
lot. Stephanie Luciano, 6-1-1. She is 3-1-1 in her last 5. Minus 260 as the favorite, and she is from Brazil. All right. So Luciano beat Talita Alencar.
And then she had a draw with her before that.
Okay. Right. Okay, it's coming back to me. And that was that's her entire UFC history there. She got she got a KO on a regional scene, Jungle Fight, which is a decent promotion in Brazil.
Shout out to Andrea, right? Yeah, and also Andrea, he was a coach.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. We don't see him anymore in the chat.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we love that.
So then you got Sam Hughes, which, dude, Sam Hughes, man, like she's one of those like journey woman fighters at strawweight where you're like
she's on a roller coaster ride.
You're like, Sam Hughes sucks, and then you're like, she's gonna lose this fight, and then she wins.
Wow, how'd you do that?
And sometimes dominantly too. Like,
with the wrestling, her wrestling looks fantastic sometimes.
Yeah, like Amarim, she smoked. Elise Reed, she knocked her out. But yeah, losing to Piero Rodriguez and Huergi. Dude, I don't even know about this one, dude. Like, I want to pick Sam Hughes. She's so inconsistent that it's hard to pick Sam Hughes. But sometimes, man, she looks really damn good in there. And some nights she looks terrible. Stephanie Luciano, on the other hand, I don't remember her fight well with Alencar. I do remember that the first fight was competitive enough that they declared it a draw. Right. I think I remember people saying it was like kind of bullshit that it should have been a draw. I think that they thought Luciano should have won. Mm-hmm. And then she handily beat her the second time. It wasn't like dominant or anything, but yeah, she did well.
Enough. She did enough.
Yes.
That was good.
So this is a really good test for her. If she beats Sam Hughes, I think we'll know a lot more about her and we'll be able to make more accurate predictions in the future. And I think she will. I think I'm gonna pick her by decision. But dude, I'm not confident in that at all. Sam Hughes could definitely pull a win out here.
I am going with Luciano as well. Just because Sam Hughes, she wins, she loses, she wins, she loses, she wins.
MMA math.
She has to lose. She has to lose in her next fight. And with Stephanie Luciano, I think she really showed improvements against Talita Alencar. On the feet, she looked way better. And then I think she was able to even get her down at certain points, which showed to me that she has some range in how she can win the fight. And with Sam Hughes, you have to have a solid grappling base. You have to be able to, I can stuff her takedowns. And if I stuff her takedowns, I'm going to beat her up on the feet. And some women they can't keep that momentum for very long, and it costs them. Of course, Bloody Butt got destroyed by Sam Hughes.
It does say split decision there.
It was a split decision.
Victoria Dudakova is a really bad fighter. Like,
she really is. And that was honestly, that was really back and forth. Like, Sam Hughes was going for desperation takedowns in that fight, but I feel like she's not going to get them on Rondinha because I think she has the grappling in her back pocket, and she's really good on the. I think she's solid on the feet enough to just really beat up Sam Hughes, and then once she stuffs a takedown, then we'll know what the outcome of this fight is going to be. This is a close one, but I think she takes her out. Rondinha, I don't know. I don't know if that's like Brazilian nickname for Ronda, but she does not get a lot of submissions. But she should have some grappling in her back pocket. And I think if she does beat Hughes, she's going to go on another Sam Page after that. Big time Sam Page after this.
By the way, we got to shout out Larry in the chat. Consistent member of the chat. Good to see. He says,
love Larry. We love Larry.
Dyer had nasty staff at his Dana White Contender Series fight.
Yeah, and he still looked good.
Dude, I don't think staff is that big a deal. Like, am I tripping when I say that?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the quality of fighter you are. Like, I think Islam Makhachev had staff against Poirier. He still beat him. I will say that was a sort of close fight.
Oh yeah,
and, Benoit, he lost to Poirier.
I think that
was the best example of staff fucking somebody over.
I think that staff only fucks with you like depending on how long you've been on antibiotics. Yeah. We got SS Jackson, good homie. We're always sending memes back and forth. He loves Rush Hour as much as I do. Not the channel, the movie Rush Hour. Seen it a million times. Fistful of Lettuce says timing potato out for no reason makes me so happy for some reason. Oh, I don't know what he's talking about.
That is the potato head. He lurks throughout the discords, and he's a strange person.
Oh, well, No Chill's Discord?
Yeah, but he hangs around other people's Discord.
A strange person in No Chill's Discord?
Crazy.
What?
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Am I a psychopath? Maybe you watch this show. So
compared to the other ones, a little less.
You know what, though? Questioning whether or not you are a psychopath confirms you're not. So
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so our next fight will be everybody's two favorite fighters in the UFC is Waldo Cortez
God.
versus Ryan Superman Spann.
Oh my God,
heavyweight.
This is my nightmare.
Waldo Cortez Acosta 12-1. His only loss coming to Marcos Rogerio de Lima. He is 4-1 in his last 5. -175 as the slight favorite. He is 33. 6'4". Ryan Spann, on the other hand, 22-10. That is a journeyman record right there. He is 2-3 in his last 5. +140 as the dog. He's from Beaumont, Texas. Shout out to George Jones. Been to Beaumont a few times. Nice place.
George Jones is cool.
30. You know about George Jones?
Yeah, he's a country singer, right?
Hell yeah, he is. Fuck yeah, dude. Respect. Yeah, he's 33, 6'5". So Ryan Spann.
This guy.
He submitted Ova and St. Preux.
Wow.
4 months ago. At least he's got some consistency going. But he got knocked out by Bogdan. Lost a decision to Nick's favorite fighter, Anthony Smith, from the great city of Omaha, Nebraska. And he got subbed by Nikita Krylov, which, by the way,
that's just a loss on paper.
Where the hell is Nikita Krylov?
I think he got booked recently.
Good. He's kind of a dark horse.
He's solid. They don't like these Russians, dude.
Why is Ryan Spann fighting a heavyweight? I thought he was a light heavyweight. Am I tripping?
Yeah, he was a light heavyweight. Maybe he's tired of fighting at light heavyweight.
I'm gonna go Waldo Cortez Acosta by decision. For as much shit as Waldo Cortez Acosta gets, I think he's actually a pretty respectable fighter. Pretty good. His boxing is what gets him by mostly. Pretty good boxer, or technical boxer, not like he's got a lot of power or anything. He looked way better in LFA. And then when he got to the UFC, he's just kind of been lackluster. Yeah. Even saying that I have like faith in Ryan Span's chin is kind of crazy. But anyway, Waldo Cortez Acosta, not a power puncher. He's going to outbox you the whole time. I think that there is somewhat of a threat of a possible takedown coming from Ryan Spann. And also, he did knock out Bresky, but Bresky's really terrible. Dude, look, he went to a decision with Arlovsky, whose chin is kind of recovered.
How the hell did Lucas Bresky beat Walter Walker? That still boggles my mind to this day.
Yeah, one of the great questions in life.
Is how Bresky beat Walter Walker.
Yes. Robelis de Spain, though, and look, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, bro, he out-wrestled Robelis de Spain, so that means he's fantastic grappler. No. After about, if Robelis de Spain ran a mile, I could probably out-wrestle the guy. Yeah. To be fair. But yeah, he would have to be severely compromised before I could do that because he's a massive man. So yeah, I think Waldo Cortez Acosta will keep this on the feet. I don't think that Ryan Spann will be able to implement, because I think Ryan Spann's definitely a more well-rounded fighter than Cortez Acosta, veteran of the UFC. But yeah, I think that Waldo Cortez Acosta just outpoints him 30-27, probably even gets that W. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a chance that Spann could hit you with the crazy shot out of nowhere, but I don't have faith in Ryan Spann anymore these days, especially not against somebody who's going to fight as safe as Cortez Acosta.
He's finally done it. Idaho has finally lost faith in Ryan Spann. Both times.
I don't mind Ryan Spann. Like, yeah, I really,
I don't mind him either. I just massively underrate him, pretty much,
dude. Okay, you picked him to lose against Ovince St. Preux.
That is true, but who did he beat? Who did Ovince beat? He beat Kennedy Nzechukwu, damn it. And I think that if Spann's gonna lose to Cortez Acosta, that means that Kennedy Nzechukwu is the superior heavyweight to Ryan Spann.
That's some fucked up MMA math you got going on.
Yeah, but I did the calculations in my head before we went on. I know what I'm talking about. But it seems like you would think that Ryan Spann's kryptonite is, as a Superman Spann, is the light heavyweight division. Anyone that's a solid fighter. He thinks that he'll go up to heavyweight and it'll make him better, but no, his kryptonite is just dealing with guys who can beat him on the feet.
Kryptonite. Superman Spann.
Yeah, exactly. Kryptonite for Superman. I think that Waldo Cortez Acosta showed that he can grapple. He took down Robelis de Spain. If you can even, get takedowns at heavyweight, you have a chance, especially with 30, 40 fighters in the UFC heavyweight division. He's a dark horse.
That's Kelton Almeida's whole game at heavyweight, and the reason why Curtis Blades is still where he's at.
Right, exactly. Lucky he pulled out sick against Kuniev. But then, he has honestly a close fight with Andrei Arlovsky. I actually thought Andrei could have won that fight, but he was technical enough. Bresky he knocks out. He has power. Only lost to Marcos Rogerio de Lima, and de Lima's mostly he's mostly a wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. That's how he.
I think de Lima's solid. I think de Lima's actually solid.
Yeah. Then he fought Derek Lewis. That was a back and forth fight.
Wait. With de Lima?
Yeah, well, with Derek Lewis. I mean, there were times that Rogerio got Lewis down. It was like, I think he's on his back for the round. It wasn't close.
Derek Lewis kneed him in the face pretty soon into the fight, if I remember correctly.
No, oh god,
dude, he came out with a flying knee in the first minute of the fight.
Who was the other guy? Who's the other Brazilian that he took on?
Derek Lewis? Nascimento.
I got him confused. I got them confused. Yeah, but other than that, Marcos Rogerio de Lima, I remember his last fight was actually he kicked the legs out of Junior Tafa. I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was tough to watch.
That's right.
Yeah, and by the way, you won't hear from de Lima for about a year because he just got suspended for using a drug, anastrozole. I believe.
What a good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
he should be using Ozempic or EPO because that guy's a blob.
Yeah. And dude, it doesn't help out his fucking belly, dude. He's gonna have that
guy's
belly
fat
no
as
matter
shit,
what.
dude.
Yeah. So if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But I think Cortez Acosta's solid. I think he's honestly like, if Spann can lose to Anthony Smith on the feet, I really think there's no hope for him.
Nick is throwing punches in the air right now, dude.
Terrible. I just think Acosta's going to barely outpoint him, and if he needs to, I think Cortez Acosta can grapple a little bit with Superman Spann, and I think just beat him. And plus it's heavyweight power. Ryan Spann hasn't dealt with heavyweight, so he might. There might be a little bit of a chin difference here.
Do you think there's a case for Ryan Spann to rejuvenate his career at heavyweight? Because we often talk about like just not being a fat guy at heavyweight, and Ryan Spann he's in incredible shape.
Yeah,
he's not just a fat guy. So I don't know. Maybe he could go far in this division.
I just think his debut fight is against the wrong opponent. I feel like Waldo Cortez Acosta is too much for him, and I think the Salsa Boy is going to be doing a salsa dance on Ryan Spann's grave in the UFC. So there you go.
Unknown X in the chat. Good to see you.
Hello.
If Hank grows out a beard, he'll be Hank Aliyev.
That is true. Lucas Tracy, he was a training partner with him. That'll be me.
Okay. George Jones Chiefs the Chiba. Hell yeah, dude. Awesome. Unknown asks why Email Melson is saying things about Hank. I think that's like his whole MO, is to just say very outlandish things about everybody. So I wouldn't believe anything.
And that's funny given that he actually dated an underage chick. So
okay.
Interesting.
I didn't want to bring any of that up, but Al Capone is underrated. Who's Al Capone?
He's
not the gangster from the 40s. I don't think that's who he's talking about.
What a great autocorrect that was.
Acosta is a hell of a baseball player. Yeah, I mean, he's from the DR, so isn't it so weird that like no baseball players come out of Haiti, but like they all come out of the DR? Like what something happens when you cross that line, you just can't play baseball anymore. Anyway. Didn't Rogerio fight at light heavyweight early in his UFC career? I have no idea. Very forgettable.
Nor do we care.
Yeah. Did Dana say anything about a cap for how many fighters in the company? It seems to only grow. Yeah. That's because that's what he wants. He wants as many underpaid people in the organization as possible.
Yep.
Nikita Krylov's nickname was Al Capone. Okay, gotcha. He's just got to fight more. Anyway, next fight will be
a Russian learning about Al Capone. Yeah.
Versus AJ Cunningham at bantamweight. Su Young Yu is 14-3 from South Korea. AJ Cunningham 11-4. Sorry, Su Young Yu. Shout out to Su Young from Rush Hour.
He's suing you, Su Young Yu.
Oh, okay. Su Young is 3-1-1 in his last 5, minus 700 as the favorite. He's 29. AJ Cunningham 11-4. He is 3-2 in his last 5, plus 500 as the underdog. And he is 30 from the great state of Arkansas. Shout out to Bryce Mitchell. So Su Young Yu, I do not remember this man. He fought 3 months ago against a guy I do not know who that is. The road to the UFC. Did he win the road to the UFC?
I think he did.
Had to have. And then AJ Cunningham lost to Ludovic Klein. Wait a second. I thought this guy was. I might be mixing him up with somebody else. He lost to Stephen Wynn a year and a half ago on the contender.
Isn't there an AJ Dobson?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
Who knows? Maybe Kiefer Crosby as well. I don't know,
bro. All right, so you know how I feel about South Korean fighters. Look, they got the heart. They got the warrior spirit.
Maybe they don't have the chins.
Yeah, well, it's just something about I just tend to fade like South Koreans and Chinese people. Sounds so racist.
Listen, there was a reason he wasn't doing the fight companion for that Yan versus Figueiredo card.
That's because I was in Texas. Okay.
I see.
Which, by the way, you'll know this because you're on the West Coast. Like, if you go to a touristy spot on the West Coast, all Asians, right?
Yep.
You go to a touristy spot in the South, no Asians, dude. It's the weirdest thing. Like, you just expect like all the
border. I don't want to be near the wall.
You just expect like all the touristy spots to have lots of Asians with cameras taking pictures. Yeah. There's none. Like, I went to Bourbon Street, I didn't see a single Asian. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Were you disappointed?
I was, because I love Asian women.
Me too. That yellow fever.
Yeah.
Hard to come by in Texas.
So I just think that the regional scene in some of these Asian countries like don't prepare you for the UFC. That's all it is. And Ryzen is included in that. We saw that with Kaya Sakura. But I don't know anything about Su Young Yu, or I guess I don't know anything about AJ Cunningham. Just looking at it, like, dude, you got knocked out by Ludovic Klein. It's gonna happen. Ludovic Klein is like somehow really good. But I guess he got short notice call up to the UFC, so I don't think we can judge that against him too heavily. Do you think that the odds, like, do you think Su Young Yu should be a -700 favorite in this spot?
The odds makers are off on, high as balls with this one.
One thing he's got going for him is he's a bantamweight. I think that's gonna, be good. The lower weight class guys from Asian countries tend to do a little better. I guess I'm just throwing darts. So we do here, right? We throw darts at a wall. We're gonna go Su Young Yu by decision, but and again, this is not knowing anything about AJ Cunningham. So give me Su Young Yu by decision. What about you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm picking you. No, not you. I'm picking Su Young Yu to win against AJ Cunningham. Because I just feel like Cunningham lost to Ludovic Klein early in that fight. I get it was on short notice. Stephen Ewan beat the shit out of him, and Stephen Ewan got absolutely destroyed by Jarno Aarons. Absolutely throttled.
You know that last name is pronounced Win, right?
Win. Well, he certainly didn't win that one. He's losing these days. Wins by ground and pound. I feel like AJ Cunningham's grappling defense isn't the best. He's lost by sub before, and I think that's what's going to cost him here. He's tough. He keeps it on the feet. He's a tough guy to put away, but at the same time, once you take him down, he's sort of harmless. Whereas with Su Young Yu, that's how he's been winning these fights. 9-1, one with the grappling. 12-4, one with the grappling. Gillespie, one with the grappling. I remember we were picking this fight. I think I picked Gillespie, and then he lost. He got just out grappled, destroyed. So schooled. So I think it's going to happen with AJ Cunningham. I think he's the same caliber of opponents that Su Young Yu has been facing, and I think he's going to show off some of that jiu-jitsu, man. He's got that jiu-jitsu. So I pick him by decision with the grappling. Su Young Yu, I choose you. Su Young Yu.
Gosh, okay. Frankie says, I wish there was another league for guys under 145 and women. Yeah, there used to be. Used to be called WEC, and the other one was Strikeforce. And then the UFC bought them all up. And now...
like the Vince McMahon assholes they are.
Is Invicta still doing events?
They're somehow still doing events.
All right. Well, there's Invicta. And as far as under 145, check out One Championship and Ryzen.
Yeah, for sure.
Which...
to see the GOAT.
Dude, I'm so bummed that Ryzen doesn't do a lot of events, man. I wish they did more, man.
They're garbage, man. They're garbage.
Hey, Isha's listening. He's going to come after us for that. Damon Blackshear.
Just quoting.
Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson at bantamweight. Damon Blackshear, the monster, is 15-7. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He is 30 from Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where J. Cole is from, by the way.
Hey, shout out to Uncle
Cody,
Phil, for real.
For real, from the Ville. Cole World, need a blanket. Yeah, we get it, J. Cole. It's the Cole World. Cody Gibson, the Renegade, 21-10, 3-2 in his last 5 on a 2-fight winning streak. Plus 310 is the underdog. He is from Slow County, San Luis Obispo, right?
Yeah.
37, 5'10" at bantamweight. Dude, Damone Blackshear last. Poor old Cody Stamen 3 months ago. Got knocked out by Montel Jackson. Quick.
I can't believe I called that one.
Yeah, you called it. You called it really good too. Mario Bautista, he lost the decision to beat Jose Johnson by twister, and beat Luan Lacerda by KO via ground and pound. Cody Gibson, on the other hand, beat Chad Anheliger, sub Brian Kelleher, lost to Miles Johns, Brad Katona, and Francisco Rivera Jr. He beat the regional scene. Listen, Cody Gibson, fantastic fighter. Past his prime. Damone Blackshear. Cody Gibson loses to all the younger guys. Outside of Brad Katona, who's more of a vet. Look, I would love if Cody Gibson got a dub. How could you not like Cody Gibson? Guy always brings it. He always fights. He has a really good, nice style. But Damone Blackshear,
he has a nice style too.
Yes. And look, losing to Bautista and Montel Jackson, to me, there's no shame in that. I do feel like Cody Gibson can win this fight if he can keep it on the feet and just kind of out technical kickbox Damone Blackshear. There's a chance of that. I don't see that happening, though. I am going to go with Damone Blackshear. I am going to pick him to win by decision. There is a chance that Damone Blackshear could really impose his game on Cody Gibson, and I think maybe a second round sub, but I have a lot of faith in Cody Gibson. He's reaching the tail end of his career, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens here. What say you, my friend?
I say you should have gone with your gut. I'm going with Blackshear by round 2 submission. I'm going with the monster. You've heard of this guy, the monster? He's the monster. I think he's going to put the whooping on Cody Gibson. I enjoy Cody Gibson's style, just as Idaho said. He's a really fun wrestler, but at the same time, I feel like Damone Blackshear is a better wrestler, more of a submission threat on the ground. And also, if you recall, he kneed Cody Stamen in the face before he took him down and got that submission. So his striking, I think, is improving by leaps and bounds. I know he lost to Montel Jackson, but they call Montel quick for a reason. Okay? He gets him out of there quick. And then Mario Bautista, he actually, makes it a little bit even on the feet. I think that was actually a pretty close fight. Obviously, I do think that Bautista won, unlike Malvo. But I still think Blackshear kept it competitive enough with him that he impressed me. Aside from, fluke, 1 minute loss, I don't know. I think Blackshear's still got a lot of talent. Cody Gibson, he's the renegade. But I think that Renegade's running into the OK Corral, partner, and he's going to get shot down. I think Damone Blackshear's taking him down. He can even beat him up. I think he's going to hurt him, and then on the ground, I think he's going to lock in some sort of it's a Darce. Oh, he's got it. Oh, he got the back. Oh, rear naked choke from Damone Blackshear. I don't know. I just don't think I see Cody Gibson surviving. I don't think he survives 3 rounds. So Baba Blackshear, he's going to have the wool yet again. Let's fucking go, dude.
Dude, you guys will never forgive Mario Bautista for holding Aldo up against the cage.
Never. And I'm never forgiving Ankalaev either.
All right, but you should hate the UFC a little bit because they keep booking Aldo in those high altitude.
Yeah. I absolutely do. So I take whatever chance I can. Their bookers are fucking garbage when it comes to Aldo. I want Aldo to leg kick the shit out of those guys. Also, with Damone Blackshear, I think he's going to pay tribute to J. Cole. And he's going to make Cody Gibson look like he ain't never did this before. No. Yeah, never did this.
Oh, wow. No. Wow. Okay. Vinny the Guinea says, Hank is continuously making me smile through this. Oh, well, that's just a heartfelt moment. Frankie says, WEC focused on smaller guys. Strikeforce and Pride had guys that could beat up top UFC guys. Yeah, that's why they had to buy them and then eliminate their competition. So Monopoly works. Anyway.
Ooh.
How do you guys keep track of all the fighters? There's 10 billion. A lot of our life is dedicated to watching MMA, unfortunately. So
yay, we watch every single fight, which is really depressing.
Yeah, what have we become?
What are we doing?
Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobaugh at lightweight. Alexander Hernandez is 15-8, 2-3 in his last 5, -190 is the slight favorite. He's 32 from San Antonio, Texas. Kurt Holobaugh, 21-8. He is 4-1 in his last 5, +155 as the dog. He is 38. I think I already said that. And he's from Louisiana. So this is a sick fight, dude, because both of these guys are kind of like vets. Alexander Hernandez obviously had a brief stint down at featherweight. I guess that didn't work out very well. He's back up at lightweight. But Hernandez is the wild card here. I feel like Kurt Holobaugh, his last loss to Trey Ogden. But this freaking guy, dude, like,
he's a tough MFer.
Yeah, he fights so hard. Had a couple of stints in the UFC. I think this is his second one. He's the more consistent of the two. I think that one thing that impresses me the most about Kurt Holobaugh is his pressure game and how he's able to keep up the volume throughout the entirety of the fight. Alexander Hernandez's biggest issue, I feel like, is he's just a bad nail. Fantastic hammer, but when he's getting beat, he has a hard time bringing it back. You know what I'm saying? But he does fight hard. This is going to be a sick fight. I love the lightweight division. Man, dude, this is a tough one to pick. Dude, going to split with Austin Hubbard. I think Austin Hubbard is very tough. I actually like Austin Hubbard. I think that Kurt Holobaugh is
that Holobaugh destroyed.
Yeah, I think that Kurt Holobaugh has somewhat of a similar-ish game. I just feel like there's a chance that Alexander Hernandez finds the chin of Kurt.
Wow.
And I think it'll be earlier. I'm gonna pick Alexander Hernandez by second round KO. I do feel like, though, if he is unable to find the knockout, I think you'll see this fight go to decision, and it'll be for Kurt Holobaugh. I think that Hernandez probably has a competitive first round. If he doesn't find that knockout in the second round, I think it's all downhill from there. So, yeah, give me Alexander Hernandez by second round KO.
Yeah. Finally, another disagreement between Idaho Fight Fan and Hank the Tank. I'm going with Holobaugh by decision. I just think Hernandez, it was sort of a bad look for him against Damon Jackson. And Damon Jackson beat him by like shooting some takedowns. Engaged in some grappling. Alexander Hernandez, he's trying to keep it on the feet. He's trying. He got out scrambled. He got leaned against the fence. He just, fight slowed down and he lost. Bill Aljo loses by decision. I don't know if that was just a stand-up battle, but
those are his featherweight fights, though.
That is true, but still,
and that's why I'm giving him a pass.
Right, but at the same time, he almost lost to Austin Hubbard. Came pretty close to it, and on the feet, he was getting hurt. Like he was doing well for a little bit, and then oh my god, Hubbard just caught him on the chin. And
I like Austin Hubbard. Dude, everybody hates that guy. I think he's a pretty decent scrapper.
Yeah, I don't hate him either. But I think a lot of people were expecting him to be the wrestler in that one, but he kept it on the feet and he made it relatively close. Whereas I feel like Holobaugh, apart from, a loss to Trey Ogden, and that's not a bad loss to have. Trey Ogden often.
But Trey Ogden is the guy that can keep up the pace that Kurt Holobaugh puts on. And I think that was why he lost.
Yeah.
Trey Ogden's pretty good fighter,
But also Ogden has beaten guys that people don't expect him to beat.
Yes.
Like he's been an underdog in plenty of fights and gotten it done. And then against Kenan Krushusi, this was a great fight, by the way. When I watched that live, it was a fucking war between those two.
Krushusi is a terrible fighter, though.
He is. But
Hollabaugh was able to beat him through the wrestling, through the takedowns and landing on top. And then Austin Hubbard, he manages to out wrestle and then end up on top. And he's a scrapper on the feet too. Like he can actually hurt you and put his combinations together. I feel like he's just too much for Alexander Hernandez. If he gets Hernandez down, I think it's going to be real trouble because he does not let go once he's on top. Like he tries to lock in his submission. He beats you up. He elbows you to death. Like I feel like he's going to make it competitive with Hernandez on the feet. I think he's going to find the chin, sort of like Austin Hubbard was able to do. Not knock him out, but stumble him. Oh, he's hurt. Hernandez is hurt. And then, when he needs to play it safe, he's going to take him down and beat him up. I feel like that's how this fight is going to go. I heard Hollabaugh is just a lot of like energy and momentum just rushing forward at you. And I feel like there's only so many guys who are like just energetic and rushing forward that Hernandez can handle. So give me Hollabaugh to put the hurt on the great ape. Maybe almost bad a hurt as Cowboy gave him. I'll never forgive you. I will never forgive you, Alexander Hernandez. You had that coming, punk.
Wow. Just shitting all over Alexander Hernandez there. Damon Jackson had that Turkish hair advantage. Yeah. He had that implant.
Yes, he got that keeps. He got that wig.
Hey, yeah, the hymns, bro. We got Kevin Vallejos versus Sung Woo Choi at featherweight here.
I'm looking
Kevin
forward
Vallejos,
to this
14-1. Getting some knockouts too. Oh yeah, he knocked out Cam Teague. That's right. I remember now. He's 23 from Argentina. He is minus 450 as the favorite. Sung Woo Choi, on the other hand, oh my goodness, this guy 1-4 in his last 5, 11-7.
Still in the UFC? How?
Plus 325. He's 32 from South Korea. So his last win came a year and a half ago against Jarno Aarons. He got knocked out by Trezano, split with Kulabau. Caceres subbed him. How do you get subbed by Alex Caceres? Anyway,
that's insane.
Steve Garcia knocked him out. Steve Garcia is knocking everybody out, right? And you asked why he's in the UFC. It's because he's from South Korea. That's the only reason why he's in the UFC.
And he makes a good fall guy too.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, true. Kevin Vallejos. Look, you wouldn't expect to know a lot about him. He is 23. Last fought on the Contender Series 5 months ago. That might have been the last Contender Series of the year. Or it was one of the last ones. This guy, dude, his only loss is to Gian Silva a year and a half ago by decision, nonetheless. Went the distance with Silva. So obviously you gotta give this dude his props. Young dude, young cat.
For sure.
And this is like you said, this is a good fall guy for him. He's gonna beat Sung Woo Choi. The question is how. Will he knock him out? Will he get a submission? You know how I feel about these fights, though. I'm always like, well, he'll probably win a decision. But I have so little faith in Sung Woo Choi. Trezano was a big heavyweight, big lightweight or featherweight, sorry, and a little more experienced, at least in the UFC and stuff, as more than Vallejos. Dude, I think I'm going to take a chance on Vallejos here and say he gets it done. Second round knockout for Kevin Vallejos. What say you?
I say that he gets it done by first round knockout. I think he gets him out of there quickly. I remember his fight with Cam Teague, very memorable, and I picked him by round 1 knockout in that fight, and he did it. He got it done. And what was impressive to me was that he got the round 1 knockout, but it was like 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, or 4 minutes or something, and he still managed to get him out of there in the first round. And he didn't even oh man, big blow from Vallejos puts him out. He just outclassed him, just dominated. Body shot, headshot, combinations. Man, Teague's hurt. Oh, he's getting beat up. Every second of that fight was Vallejos just dominating. And he still managed to get him out of there in the first round. That's why I think he's going to get Sung Woo Choi out of there in the first round. Because Sung Woo Choi got destroyed by Steve Garcia. Got out of there within a minute or two. And Trezano knocked him out. Caceres subbed him. Jesus Christ. I just think he's going to get beat up. I feel like also I feel like Vallejos is sort of being given a gift matchup here. That's why this guy behind him is wearing a Santa Claus hat right here. But yeah, I feel like even if he tries to out technical Choi, he's going to get him out of there. I feel like he's just going to hurt him to the body. And God, Sungwoo Choi, he's just, whoa, he's feeling woozy. He's feeling tired. And then bam, combination puts him out. It's not going to be like Steve Garcia, but it is going to be a master class. I think Vallejos has a lot of potential. And he only lost to Gene Silva. And it was by decision. He didn't even get knocked out by him. So I think this kid's got he was one of my favorite prospects from Contender Series last year.
And you know how I feel about Gian Silva. Pull up the Home Alone meme. Kevin! It's a wrap. Choi is like Anthony Smith over in Korea.
Wow.
Frankie asks, the 135, 205, and 155 champs are all Sambists, right? How about Hamza? I heard he didn't do Sambo. Well, did Marab do Sambo?
I don't think.
I mean, bro, to be fair, like, Sambo is like a cousin of MMA. It's like it's basically MMA, right? It's just it's just on a mat, like Joe Rogan wishes all. You ever heard him say he wishes like MMA fights were like on a football field?
I hate it. I hate it so much. Such a fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah,
I hate that idea so much.
I think that's like the major difference between Sambo and MMA. But to be fair, I haven't really watched Sambo like ever in my life. And then everyone's cooking him for saying Sambist. Good to see fuck fanatic in here.
He's a symbolist.
He says Sambo player. All right.
I think his takes are cute.
You can train Sambo in the US. It's on a regular wrestling mat. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Marab did Sambo. I don't look.
Wait, now I remember. I think he was in a Sambo competition.
Okay.
And somebody beat him in Sambo. I remember.
Hamza probably trained some Sambo, but I don't know if he has a Sambo record. I don't know.
He trains how to go to war for you guys, dude.
Fedor is like a 47-time work week world champ. What? Oh, and Sambo. Oh, and Sambo probably.
Oh, wow.
Fedor's a goat. All right. Fedor. Elizu Zaleski. Gosh,
Dos Santos.
A mouthful. Yeah, Dos Santos versus Chidi Njokwani at welterweight. Zaleski 25-8, minus 180 as the slight favorite. He is 3-1-1 in his last 5, 38 from Curitiba. Chidi is 24-10 on 2-fight winning streak. He's 2-3 in his last 5. He is 36. So Chidi, I mean, look, Chidi looked so sick coming in the UFC. We're like, oh, here's a guy fought in Glory, fought Muay Thai. Dude's looking good, and then he goes on this losing streak.
Where's the time gone?
Up by Rodriguez, loses a split to a guy named Albert Duraev, gets knocked out by Michael Oleksiejczuk of all people. Split decision with Reese McKee, and then decision with Jared Good, and he gets the nod in both of those ones. Zaleski beat Benoit Saint Denis. Split decision with Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov, the lowest common denominator of the Nurmagomedov family.
He had a great
It's a draw with Renat Fakhretdinov, loses to Randy Brown, and then beats a man named Zach Scroggin.
Yeah, the great Zach Scroggin.
Who could forget? All right.
Scrubbing the floor somewhere, that's for sure.
So look, man, Chidi, I knew that this guy had power. He could knock you out. But what really got me was if you go back and watch his Glory fights with Simon Marcus, he does one of the worst things you could ever do in a kickboxing match. he turns his back to Simon Marcus. He actually lost a point for turning his back a lot to Simon Marcus. And that's when I said, and actually shout out to Jay from Rush Hour. He's the one that told me about this. And I went back and watched it. And I'm like, okay, if he's losing a fight, he's going to crumble. He's going to crumble. It's a bad nail. Bad nail. Good hammer, bad nail. We always talk about this on this show. Alizio Zaleski, on the other hand, dude he's getting up there in age, but dude, this guy can fucking fight, dude. He can grapple you. He can fucking strike. Dude, I thought he won against Randy Brown. I think he got dropped though, and I think that's what kind of lost him the fight.
I think he won against Renat. Honestly, he could be on a 5-fight winning streak in both our eyes.
Yes. Had a stint at lightweight. I think Chidi is the bigger man because obviously he fought at middleweight. So that kind of does play into a little bit. Zaleski will be the faster of the two. Chidi will have the more power. I'm going to go with Zaleski by decision. I think there's a chance he could get a knockout because Chidi crumbles when he is under pressure. I don't have any faith in Chidi and Jaquani. But I think he could still be a fun matchup from time to time. Coming down to welterweight, and again, guys usually do worse when they come down versus going up. Unless we're talking heavyweight, light heavyweight to heavyweight. Anyway, give me Alizio Zaleski dos Santos by clear decision. What about you?
I'm going with Zaleski by round 2 knockout, actually. Because, like Idaho said, if Chidi's losing, he's crumbling. Lost to Gregory Rodriguez, ground and pound knockout. Cal Zajac honestly looked very similar. Oh, man, he hurt Macau. Ooh, it's looking bad. Oh, he takes Chidi down. Oh, I guess it's over. And then this. Dude, this is why I would never pick Chidi in a million years. Almost lost to Reese McKee. And I watched that fight. Dude, he looked almost anorexic in there. He looked awful.
Was that his first fight at welterweight?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Guy, he did not adjust well at first. And then he beat Jared Gooden by unanimous decision. This was actually impressive. I believe you picked Chidi Njokuani in that fight, and I picked Jared Gooden. And that was a back and forth affair. Gooden was able to take him down, though, in moments. He was able to get on top, but, he couldn't finish it. He couldn't get the submission like he could against, I think Gooden took on some, Aussie dude who, wobbled him, hurt him bad, and then, oh, my God, Jared Gooden comes back. Holy shit, he gets the submission. That's what I remember. Eden was not able to do it here. With Zaleski, I feel like if he gets Chidi down, it's going to be like Macau and RoboCop. He's just going to fucking hammer away with elbows and just punch. That's how he put out Zach Scroggin. He knocked him down and then just hit him over and over again and finished him. I feel like, Chidi's going to look good in the first round. He's going to look fast. He's going to look, he's going to have power. And then he's just going to start crumbling. Dude, Zaleski almost beat Renat. I feel like if he can almost beat Renat,
completely different matchup. Though.
Yeah, but at the same time, he did really well against both these guys to the point where you could argue that he won. I think Chidi's a worse caliber than both these guys, and I just think Zaleski's going to outpressure him. Njokuani's going to end up on his back at some point, and then Zaleski is just going to hammer away, no diddy, just a bunch of punches and just get him out of there. Round 2 knockout, and he makes the engine go kaput on Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Bang Bang.
The little train that could is getting derailed.
I think I could. I think I can. I think I can.
I like it. Let's see. They're having a Sambo debate. There's 4 kinds of Sambo. And then what is up with this guy, Fuck Fanatic? All of a sudden he's like the Sambo expert. Never seen this guy before, and he's just like, there are 2 sports Sambo and combat Sambo. Sambo, no subs.
No sums.
And it is just wrestling and judo. Combat Sambo is all subs and strikes. Okay.
I
did not know.
Interesting. Maybe this guy's a fellow Sambo player.
Yeah, who is this guy?
Anyway. Seems like a Sambo player to me.
Good to see you, Robin.
Hey, Robin. Yeah, and he
Zaleski
got interested in our channel through the Strickland interview. So,
sick. Oh
good
yeah.
for him.
Zaleski got the spinning wheel kick over Sean. Oh yeah, that's right. Saw Zaleski choke out Curtis Millender in Wichita 6 years ago. Jeez.
Wow.
What are we doing with our lives? What are you doing with your life? You've been watching MMA too damn long.
It's true.
Don't make me trade in my Prius for an ATV.
Poor Chitty.
Sambo is gay, Christopher.
Wow.
All right, hey,
We're straight to
man.
the point.
We don't kink shame around here. All right, man. Let's get into the main event. It is Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze at middleweight. Marvin Vettori last fought a year and 8 months ago. It feels like it's been forever. 19-6-1 is the record for one Mr. Italian's dream, Marvin Vettori. He is minus 140 as the slight favorite. He is 31 years old. Zaleski, or sorry, not Zaleski, Dolidze, sorry. 14-3.
Dos Santos.
He is 14-3, 3-2 in his last 5, plus 120. Near even odds on this one. He's 36 from Georgia. No, not the state. All right, man. So Vettori is the kind of guy like I always thought would be fighting for a belt.
I mean, he technically did.
Yeah, I always thought he would be like. I just thought he would be like more than what he is at this point. Yeah, he did fight Izzy in a rematch for the belt. That's right. 3 years ago. Jeez, where does the time go? Had a hell of a fight with Paulo Costa. Lost to Whitaker. Then he beat Dolidze almost 2 years ago.
Yep.
And then he lost to Cannonier. Dolidze knocked out Hermanson.
Greatest chin in the UFC. Proved it.
Yeah, dude. This fucking knockout versus Hermanson was so sick. He got him in a calf slicer.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Then he lost to Vettori. Lost to Imavov. Yeah, that's a good point. Lost to Imavov in a very boring fight at the Apex in a main event. Wait a second. I'm seeing a pattern here. Beat Anthony Smith up at light heavyweight, and he beat Kevin Holland in a very strange match.
My rib.
I think this will go the distance again. I really do like Roman Dolidze. I'm one of the few people that has faith in him.
Besides JL.
Okay. Poor JL. He's always getting shade. And Vettori too. I have faith in Marvin Vettori. I do feel like this will just go pretty similar. I don't remember their last fight. Like it's not.
It was not that great a fight. Okay. It was on the London card with Usman and Edwards too, I think. And then it was just like, oh yeah, I pointed him. He did it.
Okay. Yeah. So and this is even worse spot for this fight to take place. No crowd in the Apex. Middleweight main events at the Apex need to be banned. So
although I will say Cannonier versus RoboCop wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man, give me Vettori by decision. I don't know, man. I would like to see Dolidze win though. Do you know why Vettori's like been off for so long, or am I just tripping? Does it just feel longer than it's been?
1 year and 8 months is a while,
especially for a top level middleweight.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna affect him too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Roman has the activity going for him. But I mean, okay, like so, yeah, Smith on short notice and Kevin Holland are. Vettori is like just a way better fighter than either of those two guys, especially up at middleweight. So yeah, give me Vettori by decision. I really don't have much more for you guys than that. I just think Vettori's better, and he's already proven it once. So hey. He's going to do it again. And also, he's the younger of the two. So
that is true. And that is why I'm picking Vettori by decision as well. Man, the Italian dream versus the Caucasians. They got to pit these Europeans against each other. Make them destroy each other. Truly terrible from the UFC. The Italian Dream.
Wait. You said last week that Georgians are Middle Eastern, and now you're saying that they're pitting Europeans up against you. You, sir, are in kangaroo court right now.
It depends on the situation. You understand? Okay. You can pass. You can pass. Okay. The Soviet Union broke up. Things got shifted around. These things happen. Okay. And
whatever,
Marvin Vettori, the Italian Dream. Man, I wish I could pick against Vettori because he's an Italian fighter. And the Italian fighters are just losing left and right in Cage Warriors and all these other regional promotions. You always fade an Italian fighter. But Marvin Vettori...
Unless it's in K1.
That is true. But, good point. Oh, God, I lost my train of thought. Marvin Vettori, he wants to be a champion. He wants to be the first Italian UFC champion. And so he'll stop at nothing. Even having to fight Roman Dolidze for 2 extra rounds in order to get back to the mountaintop. But damn it, that's what he's going to do. God, this is a terrible main event for an Apex card. Like a terrible fight already between these two, and now you're just going to have it for even longer. But at the same time, I feel like Vettori was doing very well in that fight. He was very good at keeping away from Dolidze at range, picking him apart, doing really well on the back foot, which is honestly really good. Like, he won the exchange when they were going back and forth. Like, no, he was like, okay, come at me, and I'm going to just, no, did he? And I'm going to 1-2, bam, at range. And I'm going to leg kick you at range. And he just won it handily, in my opinion. I think Vettori won that. And he had his best round in round 3 as well. So that tells me, this dude literally survived 5 rounds against Jared Cannonier, just beating the absolute shit out of him.
Dude,
and kept on swinging.
Vettori is like, he's unkillable. Like
Yeah.
He had a hell of a fight with Costa. They beat the shit out of each other. And dude's got a hell of a chin.
Yeah, dude has a titanium chin. And I feel like that's going to come into play here. Roman Dolidze sort of relies on his power on the feet. And he does have grappling. That obviously didn't really work at all against Marvin Vettori. He barely used it. And something tells me he's not going to use it that much here either. I think Vettori's going to pick him apart. And then as the 4th and 5th rounds come along, I think he's just going to look better and better. And I think Roman Dolidze is sort of going to look how he did in that Imavov fight, where it's like, God, he's looking sloppy. Man, he's looking sloppy and sweaty and just, no did he. And just not looking good. he doesn't belong in a main event.
Oiled up.
Yeah, getting out the baby oil, the coach is Drickus's coach, by the way. And yeah, I just feel like Dolidze is going to look bad as this fight goes on, and Vettori's going to look like Marvin Vettori. You can always rely on him to look like Marvin Vettori, and that's what's going to win him this fight. So give me Vettori by decision, and even if he loses, it's not his fucking fault. It's not his fault. Because it was in the Apex. He didn't have the people on his side. It's not my fault.
All right. I'm not getting the meme there, but I'm sure it's hilarious.
He screamed that at some point.
Okay.
Not my fucking fault. But that's
right, we're having a debate over Sambo
Vettori
and combat jiu-jitsu in the chat. Dana should have made a slap jiu-jitsu league.
Wow.
Instead of just slap, that world would be a better place. I think it would be huge. I completely disagree with you, Frankie. As much as I hate slap, somehow there's a market for it. Which is just strange to me. Good to see AJ in the place. I gotta hit AJ up soon when I get my passport.
Hit him up.
We're gonna get together. I'll be coming to the East Coast, I think, soon too. So we'll have to link up, AJ.
And good to see you, all around the world to meet his buddies.
Hell yeah, man! That's what I do. Anything for the homies. Anyone who beats Anthony Smith is probably the GOAT.
That is interesting.
Okay, but Nick is from Omaha. So you gotta give him a pass.
I don't.
He said, according to him, probably.
Maybe, kind of.
All right, man. All right, dude. So, all right. What's a better outcome for the UFC? Marvin Vettori wins or Roman Dolidze?
I think it's Marvin Vettori winning. Just because he's a character. Hey, dude, who's going to look better at a press conference? Marvin Vettori or Roman Dolidze?
That's a good point. I just think that inconsistency in just not fighting enough is a reason why I would rather see Dolidze win. But I do understand what you're saying. He's the more marketable of the two. Also from Italy, like they need a first Italian champion.
I'll never go there.
I'm excited for Road FC. I think that'll probably be the best card of the weekend. It'll be at 3 a.m. Eastern.
Road UFC.
And you can watch it for free too. Just go to grabakahitman.com. You'll have a link up for it. They stream it for free. And also you get sick Korean commercials.
Yeah,
I love me some foreign.
Long man.
Actually, okay, it's like cool for the first hour, and then like they start running all the same ones back. And like, all right, come on.
At least they're not setting up the cage for a halftime show.
No, what was that? The Japanese MMA Expo? Yeah, that was annoying. What else you got planned for the week? You got any other streams planned?
I might do a tier list this week. Also, we apparently have gotten the contact of a star that has exploded and turned into a supernova. It's done for. The star has died, and we'll get to interview that dying star before it finally fades away.
So I've gotten a request for 2 interviews, and the audience has requested most heavily Bryce Mitchell be interviewed on this channel.
Oh no! Oh, I mean, great! Oh, awesome! I'll be rooting for him against Gene Silva, man. I'll be watching the premiere.
Do you think we can pull that one off?
I think we can. I think we can, Berber.
Okay, it's gonna be
been through hell or high water.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah. Robin says we need the Bryce interview. See, the audience is clamoring for it. I want to do a Paddy Pimblett interview before his fight against Chandler. So yeah, we got lots of interviews to record this week. Do you think we'll be able to get to them?
Yeah, at least one of them for sure.
All right, fair enough. Special fishing episode.
Bryce, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Has a lot of great ideas.
I think he's very stupid. All right. Yeah, man. When do you think you'll be doing your tier list?
Tier list? Probably on Friday.
Friday. Got it. Okay. I'll try to give you guys something in between then. Wednesday or Thursday. I'll try to do a live chat. All right, man. That's it for us. You have anything else to say to the people?
I have to say, watch some Cage Warriors and watch some Road FC because they'll be better than the Apex card, most likely.
Yeah, they will be. You get a lot more finishes.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
we're just getting started.
Watch some Muay Thai. Anyway, all right, man. Hank, lead us out.
You have escaped the concrete jungle. Wait, hold on.
Wait. Before we do that, did you have a question to ask me? I'm pretty sure there was a question.
No.
Okay. You sure? I mean, say something, man. What is it? What is it?
Is this part of the Marvin Vettori bit?
How's that even a fucking question? That's not a question. Shout out to Dr. Phil. For real. Because I ain't never did this before. No, I ain't never did this before. No, I ain't never did this before. But I never do steroids. I never did steroids. I never did it before, dude. You got a fucking clit on your forehead, man. You got it for steroids.